but you've been with me for a while, Steve, now. But for everybody else here who's maybe just joining, maybe going through the process, maybe they're like, dude, what are with these habits? You probably thought the same thing when you first started, right? Like what, like why I'm joining a training program to help me eat right and work out. Why are we focused on habits? Why am I doing cold showers? Why am I doing meditation? Why am I doing yoga? Why am I doing gratitude? Like this is stupid, right? You probably think that. And I thought that too until I actually applied it, until I actually started seeing what was
Yeah.
happening and the outcome because of it. I started noticing myself in a completely different space. But you know the
Yeah.
funny thing about that? You'll never experience what it feels like and the thoughts that come to you when you're in a higher space, a higher vibration, when you
Hmm.
feel calmer and lighter and you're doing these practices, you're becoming mindful, you're meditating, you elevate your vibration. You become, in essence, you walk with God in that sense. And if you're not doing that, you're in a lower vibrational state. If you're in a lower vibrational state, which most of us are because that society wants us to keep it wants to keep us in this lower vibrational
Yeah.
space. That's the
Yeah.
matrix.
Yeah.
If we are in there, we're never experiencing the beauty and the thoughts of peace and tranquility that are happening in that higher vibrational space. Think of it like a level. You can only see, like for example, a level of the Empire State Building, right?
Right.
For example, you go up, you're on level one. You're not gonna see the full beauty that the very tip top will experience. You're
Right.
only experiencing, oh yeah, I can kind of see a little bit out. I can see down, but then you go up to another level, and then you're like, wow, this is cooler than the level before. I can see a little bit more. And then you go up more, and you go up again and again and again. Eventually, you start to reach the top, and from the top to the bottom, the experience is completely different
Oh
because you
yeah.
have a different vision. You sense different. You see things from a different perspective.
Yeah.
And you'll never be able to do that until you raise to the new level, to the next level. So if you're trying this, you're starting in this way, or if you're just anywhere, period, right now, you're never going to experience what it feels like and what it's like to be your highest self until you start going through the actions that your highest self would do. This is
Hmm.
why your vision is so important. This is why we have to renew our mind every day, focus
Right.
on God's purpose for us, because it's not about us. It's not about
Right.
us having a vision of what we think our life is going to be. That's not what
Right.
it's about. That's very narcissistic in a way. We're thinking about what are the vision of our highest self with God's purpose being fulfilled through us. That is your vision. That's the vision we need to hold on to. The vision of impact, the vision of changing things, the vision of going out and being that light for everyone around us. When you experience that, when you're working towards that, you're holding that vision in your heart every day, everything you do is different. Every action, mundane, repetitive action, becomes different. You are seeing that this is no longer a task I have to get through. It's something that is going to help me become more of what I'm supposed to be. That's what the habits are for. That's why they're so powerful. And Steve, you even said it, man. Like you've been here for 5, 6 weeks now. You're a completely changed man compared to what you were 5 or 6 weeks ago when you started this. And you've changed physically, yes, but the inner man is what's really creating the outer change. So we have
And
to
you,
always, sorry, but let me just say this one last thing. We always try to change the outer, our physical sense, by focusing on the physical to change the physical.
hmm
That's not how it works, guys. Everything starts at the very baseline, the foundation, which is your inner man. Everything
right.
we're doing focuses in on uplifting and leveling up the inner man so that the outer man can change and create sustainable change, long lasting change, eternal change.